you let us know what would it take for the mainstream to finally go, okay, this is what's going to happen, so that you see more and more of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cryptocurrency is going mainstream. Web3 is going mainstream. Major talent in tech is heavily investing their time in Web3, what we call. Best investors like Mark Andreessen, they are investing their time and capital into Web3. So it's inevitable.
Hey everybody, we're just getting started. For those who are tuning in live through Facebook as well, or webinar, if not, you can watch it later. Today, I have Natalia, I always miss on that, my bad. Just live now, Natalia and Adam, and who better than for them to introduce themselves. So Adam, I'll let you go first.
Well, I'm the VP of Sales and Business Broker Relations for proptech.com. I work directly for Natalia, doing exciting things, but I'll let Natalia talk about herself and the company a little bit more.
Natalia?
Adam is very modest. He's been with the real estate industry here for many years, many years. True proponent of realtor work, broker work, and he's a great addition to our team, amazing executive. So thank you, Adam, for joining our team last year. And he understands all about NFTs, crypto, metaverses, and so on. Myself, my name is Natalia. I'm the founder and CEO of Propy. Before that, I had a real estate development company, and I ran a brokerage in Eastern Europe, in Bulgaria. But my first company, when I was 19, I launched a software company being an engineer. So now I'm marrying both of the industries that I have passion for, engineering and real estate. So very, very excited to be here. Thank you, Long, for the invitation. And
you bet. That's awesome. In case for some of you guys didn't know me, I'm also a moderator, LabCoatAgent, Doan, broker for Realty Group with my business partner, Mike Bernier in Minnesota. But anyways, right now, I'm seeing like from all different states are represented here. So I don't know the level of understanding that our agents have about blockchain, crypto, NFTs. So maybe we'll just start with a few minutes on some basic stuff, just in case people are like, hey, what's blockchain, what's crypto? Will you kind of educate us a little bit? Because I got to go through all of this. We'll talk about at the end how to be a crypto certified agent. So I got to learn all that from you. But now, Natalia, maybe you can share a little bit with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hello, everyone. Hello. I see people from Ventura, Silicon Valley, Long Island, amazing, Montana, Toronto. Could you please share if any of you own a cryptocurrency? Let's see. Just say yes.
And I even own Pro.
Oh, nice.
PRO, which is Propy tokens.
Fantastic. Welcome on board, Long. Okay, I see. Yes. Anybody with no here? Yes, and I'm starting my own asset-backed FT. Amazing. We have one no, two no's, three. Okay. Well, it seems like many folks are owning cryptocurrency already. This is amazing. And normally when I'm attending conferences, I'm noticing that about between 60 to 80% of the agent community already owns cryptocurrency. So probably doesn't make sense to dive into like what is a cryptocurrency, which is obviously a currency that is not dependable on corporations or governments, and it's driven by cryptography. Now, blockchain is a ledger that is immutable. Whatever is being recorded on blockchain is immutable. And blockchain is the infrastructure for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other thousands of tokens. So the NFT, I'm sure we'll have this question too. It's a non-fungible token, which is also run on blockchain.
So I know a lot of people probably may know enough about blockchain and crypto, but NFT is still a little bit new. Like, we know in the past now, art has been NFT, recently real estate. I know Propy, congrats to you. You've done one in 2017, and then most recently a real NFT transaction conducted by Propy in Florida, right? Will you talk a little bit about how NFT actually work in anything, including real estate?
Absolutely. Anybody here owns an NFT? Let's see if we have advanced realtors here. No. Yes. Sandeep owns NFTs. Vanessa, Kenny, that's amazing. Steven. So NFT really became popular last year, and they normally represented art, digital art, music, and rights to digital assets. What it means is that you transfer ownership from one wallet to another wallet, and it's immutable. Nobody can take this asset from you. And the most popular website is OpenSea to acquire those art assets. So if you're a newbie, get a wallet, MetaMask, and go on OpenSea, connect your wallet to OpenSea and start browsing. And that's how the Web 3.0 will evolve, where you log in instead of email, you log in there with your wallet. And now most exciting part is the NFT of a real estate asset. Adam, do you want to cover that?
Sure. So it's exciting. We have our second live NFT will go live April 7th in Florida. We have over 1,000 homeowners on the wait list to NFT their home potentially within 2021. We have between 10 and 20 going to go live in April. So we're really excited. Our smart contract developers are flexing their muscle. Our next live NFT is going to be an investment property with that lease being written into the smart contract, and that's going to be attached to the NFT to the new purchaser of the NFT. So really exciting. Pretty pumped up about it. I get a little bit nerded out on NFTs. I think they're really, really interesting. And I wouldn't, so to kind of back up a little bit long, to talk about NFT in terms of a real estate transaction, you know, in a very broad sense, we take the documents that own the NFT, we digitize those, we mint those into an NFT, and then that house is attached to those documents. And so that's very, very simplified. It's actually more complex than that. And we can go into it if you like long, but the ability for the homeowner to buy or bid on the house in real time with all of the data up front on their time frame. If the house goes live for NFT on April 7th, which it will, that potential home buyer can move in on April 8th. There are numerous benefits of why it makes sense for the homeowner, probably too many to list right now, but that's the exciting part of NFTs. And if the audience wants to get deeper into it, I could talk about NFTs all day, but I don't want to bore you with the details.
So speaking that a little bit, before we even get more advanced and answer some questions, you mentioned, Natalia, about wallet. Well, for me, the simple analogy would be like having a bank account or a wallet, right? Will you explain a little bit about wallet? I know learning from your class, there's cold wallet and there's hot wallet. Will you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everyone who is new here, I would recommend to get a Coinbase account, and there is a built-in wallet there. Basically, it's where you store your coins, your tokens, NFTs or Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then you can transfer those coins, send them to your friends, to your partners. And there are three types of those wallets. One type of a wallet, which is more secure, is actually hardware, where you get a ledger and you put it in the safe, and that's the way for you to keep the private key in the safe. And then another way is Coinbase, which is basically now it's a public company, it's a corporation. They own your private key. They have access to your private key. But the advantage is that if you lose your password, you can always restore the password. But these exchanges might be hacked, so you wouldn't store a lot of value there. But you can utilize Coinbase for smaller trading needs and so on. And then MetaMask and other, these are decentralized wallets that nobody can ever have access to those wallets. Like if governments cannot get access to that, and you have to be very careful to keep your seed phrase or your private key in written, maybe again in a safe, or providing it to a very trusted person. You would never keep this passwords on your phone or on your computer.
For those who are newer, when Natalia is talking about passkey or password key, I think you guys maybe didn't know, it's like 30, 40 digits, right? And if you mistype one of the digit, that's like, you could totally be a wrong one. I'm hearing rumor out there, like back in the day, Natalia, where people got on during the tech time when they buy all these domains. Are you able, like I can do the same now with Zoom, right? My Zoom link is zoomwithlong.com. So I just went and kind of tied to it. Explain how someone could tie something like that to a password without having all those digits. Is there a way to do that?
Digital identity is a topic which is very modern today amongst venture capitalists, startups, and so on. And there are early stage companies that are doing that, like Civic, and which is a little bit like they're 5 years old now. Yacht, where you can put your identity on blockchain and they are identified by emojis. You kind of put a code in your personality and it's immutable. So yeah, I think it's evolving. We're not there yet, but hopefully in the future, we will actually utilize zero knowledge proof protocols, where I know it's a technical word, but you'll get there. Once you're in the rabbit hole, you just dive into that and you'll start understanding that. But it means that you can provide your identity number to a company or to a government body, and they get access to your very personal, sensitive data, but none of the people can actually reveal it and send it over. They just check if what's your gender, what's your address, and if it meets certain requirements, then you can do a transaction and nobody can actually have access to your personal data. So that's the future we're looking forward in the crypto space.
So on that same topic, since I'm fresh off your class, I got a lot of these in my mind still. So people hear metaverse. What the heck is that? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody here bought a digital real estate yet? Or excited about being a meta agent in a metaverse? I'm sure you've probably half of the people here already have been in some webinars. One too soon, yes. So metaverse, basically it's a virtual world. Those of you guys here who've been in Verbella, EXP, you know already this experience where you go to a virtual world and you can communicate. Metaverse is similar to that, but it's crypto enabled. And it's presumably will be with better UX experience, and you'll be able to interact in spaces to sell real estate assets, whether imaginary or real world, close to real world real estate, and you'll be able to play and utilize your avatars, NFT avatars, as your identity. And most important is that you'll be able to trade all those assets across the platforms. You'll be able to trade your avatar, you'll be able to trade your real estate asset in the metaverse. And I see a lot of potential for realtors to evolve into this new age of profession where you'll be also making money in metaverses. It will be a very needed profession because there are hundreds of metaverses being developed right now. And it won't be one metaverse where we'll all meet. Instead, just like with social media, they will be 10 different metaverses winners and consumers who will need help. Which metaverse is best? Which one has the most promising roadmap? Where celebrities invested in real estate and making events? How you can participate, invest? What are the rules of these games?
You touched on it a little bit with the metaverse, but can you explain how, if smart contract is set up correctly, how an agent could potentially get residual and royalty when a transaction keeps getting sold? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I just wanted to mention that many agents are scared of NFT, metaverses, smart contracts for transactions. But I want to reassure you that founders like me, executives like Adam, we really believe in the realtor work, which people who understand how to elaborate all the processes, how to understand the neighborhoods to the consumer. Realtors are those who are bringing this innovation to the consumer. And that's why it was very important for us when we invented real estate NFTs to make sure realtors benefit the most, because they will help us to bring the real estate industry to the Web3 age. And when you as a listing agent, if you bring a deal to us and we will NFT a property together with you, this means that you have royalty fees on every single transaction that is happening to this property in the future.
When a property is NFT, I want you to confirm and share with people that doesn't mean they can't also sell it through a regular channel through real estate transaction, right? They just also have the option to also, transact an NFT.
Yes, that's correct. So when we have a request, first of all, we have about 1,000 requests from sellers to NFT their homes. When they reach out to us, we recommend them to hire a listing agent that is trained on crypto. So we reach out to our crypto certified agent and say, hey, we have this seller, please educate them how to NFT a property. Then what we do is we encourage this property to be listed on MLS. And then all potential buyers, they can either make a traditional offer or participate in the NFT auction. And if the NFT auction is not successful, there are no bidders, then the property can be sold in a traditional way. So there is no limitation. It's just when you NFT a home, you tap into a bigger pool of buyers, such as crypto millionaires, crypto billionaires, and even traditional buyers. Adam, can you share about our buyer in Tampa?
Yeah, our buyer in Tampa was a traditional home buyer, heard about the property, visited the property ahead of time, put funds in her wallet, but it was a couple that bought, and they loved the house and bought the house, and you were living in the house. So it's a traditional sale, nothing exotic about it. Just a normal couple buying a house in a normal neighborhood. Very, very excited about it. And one thing often long that people kind of ask, they think that the NFT process is somehow going to mitigate or diminish the realtor's value. And we don't think that's the case. If anything, Natalia brings up a really good point where we think the NFT process will enhance realtor value because it's a nuanced process to walk through. They're going to need an expert to guide them through that process. And also the volume, we think because of the reduced friction in the sale of the house, the volume of homes will go up, which ultimately, as all of us know in this industry, that's a good thing for us as real estate professionals. So, it reminds me a little bit of 2008. Long, you and I are both old enough to remember those days that we all thought Zillow was going to kind of redo the way real estate was done and make the realtor obsolete, which you can make a case that Zillow has over the years thought about doing that, but they're unable to because the homeowner demands that a third-party person help them navigate that transaction. And anybody in our business who try to diminish the value of realtors, at the end of the day, the homeowners vote whether to keep us in the process or not. And in our NFT process, the realtors are involved on both sides of the transaction. They're involved in helping market the home. They're involved in helping buy and sell side navigate that process. So it's a very pro NFT process. And I know I'll point that out because a lot of realtors on an open forum, that's the first question they ask.
Okay, good. All right, a couple of questions in here. Maybe one first we address Natalia or Andrew, Adam. I don't know. Today I'm coming up with all new names for all the people I'm talking to. But I know that logistically people are trying to figure out how this transaction can be done. And the question on there, Natalia, was about title. So can you explain how blockchain would help with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, we've transacted before the NFT sale, we've transacted $4 billion in traditional transactions via smart contracts on Propy. So basically today you can start transacting your normal transactions on Propy in any states in the United States. And we run it on smart contracts. And also we incentivize agents who bring transactions on Propy. We provide tokens if you're transparent. And of course we do all the title search, title report. In some states we have our introducing soon our own escrow and title services, which it's still in stealth mode. But our goal is really to increase the speed and security of the transaction via blockchain. And now with the NFT transaction, we're able to make closing within minutes. So to Adam's point, it's actually the buyer was very happy. She's traditional. She's not a crypto millionaire or billionaire. She just wanted to close a transaction the same day instead of feeling anxiety that every single day for the next 30 days, something can fall apart. How we secured the title. Before the NFT sale, with our own resources, we did title search, title report, provided all to all bidders. We've done comparables in advance. We did inspection reports in advance, provided all the disclosures, organized with the help of the listing agent, of course, open houses. So everybody who wanted to research on the property, they had 2 weeks to visit the house, to dive into the documents, to get their inspection, to organize their own inspection, to see the title report. And then when transaction happens, it's recorded on the blockchain. So we have all the historical data on blockchain. Plus, from now on, this property lives on chain, as we say, on blockchain. And thus, we can absolutely track the home ownership immutably.
And if you think about that long, you know, you're having full transparency of that home before you even make your first offer. You're looking at the inspection report, you're looking at an appraisal, you're looking at the house physically. It's a really interesting perspective because today we're just bidding blind. We're bidding on a house, hoping our bid gets accepted. It's extremely anxiety filled. We don't know if our offer is going to be accepted. If we do, we feel lucky. And then we go to an inspection and it might not be the house we had dreamt it would be. And so therefore, but we've locked into a contract, and from the seller's perspective, maybe we back out. If you look at the amount of friction in a real estate transaction, and I think most of the people in our industry, we do this every day, so it's not friction to us, it's just our job. But from, you know, most homeowners' perspective, especially on the buy side in this market, it's extremely anxiety and friction heavy. And if you look at across our life, whether it's groceries or buying cars or even meeting our partners, we like smart, transparent, frictionless transactions. And real estate is no different. And so I think that's where Natalia and the team and I really are proud of what we do, is because it's 100% transparent. It's realtor friendly. It's better for the seller and the buyer. It's fully transparent. So, you know, we get excited about it because we think it could be a really big game changer for real estate agents.
Okay, I know Natalia has a hard stop in about 3 minutes or so. So I'm going to ask this last question. And when she leaves, Adam and I can stay on and answer as many as we can, okay? So as we know, right, everything evolves all the time in every industry, including real estate. People still buy and sell home. It's going to do them differently. For those who are older and been in the industry forever, they would tell me it used to be in a book. It used to be posted in the window. You show up to the office and then went online. Well, people still travel. They use Expedia now, right? People still shop. Amazon. I'm surprised on my home office today and my dog hasn't barked yet because Amazon hasn't stopped by because my wife ordered something. You know, people still get rides to Uber. People still watch movies to Netflix. They're still going to do real estate differently. So before you leave, will you let us know what would it take for the mainstream to finally go, okay, this is what's going to happen, so that you see more and more of this?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cryptocurrency is going mainstream. Web3 is going mainstream. Major talent in tech is heavily investing their time in Web3, what we call. Best investors like Mark Andreessen, they are investing their time and capital into Web3. So it's inevitable. I think probably 60 to 70% of the US population owns cryptocurrency. And it's not just speculation, it's the belief that with the cryptographic technology, we can bring power to people. In our industry, it means that we can bring power to real estate participants, to realtors. We collectively can own the industry and make it better. Real estate asset is the most valuable asset in people's life. Why not to finally make it as an enjoyable process of buying it, one that is secure, without risk of wire fraud, without risk of title fraud, and so on. And realtors just do their best job, which is meeting people, advocating for specific neighborhoods, helping the local community, instead of having to share this anxiety for 30 days in every single closing, sometimes more. Why do have those deals that are falling apart? It doesn't make sense. And on top of that, right now we have about 6 million homes sold. With the blockchain technology, I believe the process will be so simple that Gen Z, millennials, when they move to other states, they would rather buy a home and build wealth. And we will see 12 million home sales, 18 million home sales, because it will be easy and it will be no-brainer. In fact, our first ever NFT last year, the buyer was a millennial in San Francisco. He never bought a house because it was a hectic process. But with the NFT, he really wanted to own real estate within minutes. So he bid on that. That's how I think the industry will evolve. And realtors that are getting crypto educated now, buying tokens, as I see like the majority of people here, they own NFTs and crypto. Those will drive our industry to the next stage.
I agree. I know you got to leave shortly, but I just want to let everybody know it's not if or even when, it's already here. So if you're not getting on, you're going to lose out. I'll talk to Adam about some of the logistics, how to get crypto certified, where to go and all that stuff. But thank you, Natalia, for being on today. I know you have to go. Your time is very valuable. I hope to see you again soon, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone. And we'll send you seven apps PDF, how to start in crypto, for those of you who is not aware. So thank you so much for listening, and Long, thank you for inviting.
Thank you. So Adam, we'll just answer some of the questions that was on here that we didn't get to. I'm sure you can answer them too. People wondering, can you still sell the home if it's tokenized regular way? I thought we touched on that already, that you could do both, right?
You can. The term tokenized, you have to be careful. It's a non-fungible token, but the actual property is not tokenized. A lot of people think of tokenized as being fractional ownership, which we don't dabble in fractional ownership. We just work in the traditional method, but you can sell it once it's NFT'd. And the interesting thing about that, Long, is once the house is NFT'd as a homeowner, now I have access to DeFi or non-custodial markets to be able to leverage that home. And if you look at the amount of money, that NFTs are being staked for, or some of the DeFi markets doing for lending against NFTs, it's the ability for a homeowner to really have an asset and use that in a real and agile way, where you can go out and get loans against it in 24, 48 hours for 75% of value without having to jump through hoops, have a notary show up at your door, sign papers. So to be able to use your money and your asset your way. So that's pretty exciting.
I know we don't have time, but someone kind of started a whole new rabbit hole about DeFi, decentralized financing, right? With blockchain. Yeah. I don't know, Propy will be getting into that side of it, but there's a lot of opportunity. Go ahead.
Long, I got 28 minutes long. I'm going to fill them up. So you just tell me when you're done. So the DeFi market's really interesting. It's evolving really quickly. I have this analogy that I always use. And if you've heard it before, I apologize. But if you look at the three main tenets in the real estate process, the mortgage traditional finance piece is really evolving to Web3 very, very rapidly. So DeFi, non-custodial banking, whatever you want to call it, they're quick. The guys with the money are usually pretty smart. They are figuring this out. They're going to loan against NFTs. They're going to loan against crypto. The stable coin is a game changer in terms of Tether and USDC. If you look at, that's kind of the green light of the analogy. But the yellow light, the group that I think is moving cautiously, but I think is going to get there, is title and escrow. I think there are some really smart title and escrow companies that are using chain. I think, we are kind of working in that space to help. We can close on title and escrow in any state in the country for a crypto deal. We have partners in every state that we use. We work hand in hand with your local T&E company. So that portion of the real estate transactions moving a little bit slower. I think they see Web3, crypto, and blockchain as maybe eroding margins a bit, but I look at it as maybe they can erode costs because there's so many hands that touch each file that I think they could save a lot of money, become streamlined, reduce risk, reduce mistakes, full transparency, et cetera, et cetera. So I think title and escrow is the yellow light of my traffic signal. I see them evolving, but maybe a little bit slower. And then I think the third part that we're struggling to kind of catch up is local municipalities and states and government offices, county recorders, Brenda from the county recorder's office. That seems to be where I think the most friction or the most hesitation or the least acceptance of change is heading. I think the local municipality keeping records on paper is outdated already. I think there are almost 10,000 homes in New Orleans that no one knows who quite owned because the record keeping was flooded in New Orleans and no one kept a copy of their deeds. And so there are a lot of houses that are unknown of who owns those in New Orleans. I just read a stat, there's almost $8 trillion of land in the world that no one knows who rightfully owns it because there's no clean and record keeping. And, the blockchain solves all that. It's just a digital distributed ledger that everyone can see and can not doubt. It's immutable. It's intamperable. It's transparent. And so I think, I think with realtors, we get into this headspace of, hey, if this is better, everything's going to go to this. And that's not the case. I mean, there are a lot of good things that will stay very similar to they are today. But in terms of keeping records of who owns land and title and escrow and who closed for what, the blockchain is a really, really good fit. And it's almost as if that distributed ledger was built for real estate. And if you look at NFTs, which basically mean, non-fungible, which means non-commoditized, a very unique thing, real estate is about as NFT as it gets. Real estate is a lot more NFT than a picture of an ape smoking a cigar. So we're really excited about that. And I think the real estate community, people don't give real estate agents enough credit. They think that we're all 81-year-olds driving around a minivan, part-time. And that's not really the case. I mean, some of the best and brightest people in the world are in real estate, some of the strongest work ethic. I mean, to be a realtor, you have to navigate how to sell the house. You have to know all the archaic zones, regulations in your marketplace. You have to know which houses to buy and sell, which neighborhood for what sellers. And oh, by the way, you have to do all of your own marketing and all your own sales and all of your own taxes. And so I don't think people give realtors enough credit, especially as it relates to technology. But if you look at the people actually selling houses, they and their teams are actually pretty tech fluent. And listen, it's not easy. I mean, the average realtor, I think, gets like 11 solicitation calls a week to some new program or some new thing that's going to help grow their business. And so we try to be aware of that, be helpful from that regard. That was a long rant.
So let's take an example. Let's say my home, my kids are older, 18, 21, 25, finally out of the home. My wife been bugging me to downside. Let's say I want to NFT this thing with you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Put it on to sell it. Go to something smaller. Someone came along, made an offer, has financing, which is one of the questions someone has on here. How would that work for a traditional mortgage to buy an NFT property? Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah. So as of right now, it has to be a liquid buyer. So they can have cash and convert that into a stable coin, which, like Yogi Berra said, cash is just as good as a stable coin. So the stable coin is a game changer. People want to get hung up on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and Ethereum and Solana, Cardano, Doge, whatever. The stable coin is going to be the cryptocurrency that all realtors use because it's backed by the US dollar. It doesn't have the volatility. If I'm not a crypto enthusiast, do I really want to put $1 million into an escrow account in Bitcoin, knowing that I might lose 3, 4, 5, 7% overnight, or vice versa? The stable coin is a game changer. As of right now, as of today, to buy an NFT, you have to be liquid. So you would take fiat or whatever monies you have, put it into a stable coin, put it into your wallet, bid on the house, or buy the house wall to wall. The DeFi markets are lending against NFTs, or traditional companies will let you buy NFTs. That's evolving quickly. We have conversations daily with those companies. I'm telling you, well, the lenders and the financial backing of real estate, those guys are really smart. Like, they are evolving lightning quick, guys. young guys, old guys, and gals, but they've got it figured out. So, but as of today, to buy your house loan, especially that $1 million mansion you live in, they would need to be liquid. They'd put their money into a MetaMask wallet, into a stable coin, and then they would do KYC MLA. I often call it KFC MLK, but it's KYC MLA or AML. And then they would get verified that their funds are there. They would look at your house. They would see the inspection report. They'd see the appraisal. They'd see the fact that it's owned free and clear. They'd have title and escrow signed off saying, hey, house is owned free and clear, no debt encumbrance, no litigation. They might tour the house. They might even bring their inspector to the inspection, take a quick look at the house. If they like their house, the day it goes on sale, they put an offer in from their wallet to your wallet, funds transfer, recorded on chain. They own your house. And, you might hand them the keys on your way out and their way in. It really is a different transaction. And because of that, I think the real estate agent, the really good agents will figure that out and stay more relevant than ever, because everyone's bought a house the old way. But to be a realtor now and be able to walk them through that new process shows value proposition more than ever from a realtor broker perspective.
So as of right now, house should be free and clear when it goes NFT to be sold. No traditional financing, has to be cash or somehow. DeFi somehow that might fit in soon, you think?
You could DeFi it. I mean, there are companies right now that are traditionally fronting money to buy a house. Yeah. Ribbon is one on the East Coast. There's some other ones that do that. If you fronted the money and put it into a crypto account, which you can do, you can buy it that way. That will change. By the end of the year, you'll have several companies that will let you buy funding from the NFT process. It's still very, very new. This is going to be our third house. We'll have 10 underneath our belt, mid-April, 20 by the end of April. We learn a lot each time. Each realtor learns a lot every time they go through the process. But, we've got 1.6 million realtors to teach the process too. So it'll be a long process. But we're really excited to kind of roll it out at a macro level.
Okay. So let's say with the DeFi comes into play, can they then maybe pay off their existing mortgage from the seller? Would that be allowed then with DeFi? Because very rare people can have a house free and clear at this time, right?
Yeah, the DeFi markets will, what a lot of people will do is they'll take their house, their traditional mortgage, pay it off through a DeFi company. The DeFi company will hold it, they'll NFT their house, then they'll get it sold that way.
Okay.
But think about that long. So our lending process now is you're the banker, I'm the buyer. You look at me, you say, hey, Adam, you're approved up to $500,000. I go out, I put an offer into the house. You still haven't really approved me because now you have to look at the house to make sure it meets your standards, right? And so now with this NFT process, I would actually come to you and say, hey, there's an NFT coming on the market in a month from now. Here's all the data. Here's an appraisal. Here's an inspection report. Here's the comps. Then you could approve it in real time. And so it creates less friction in terms of the appraisal up front, doesn't create this awkward conversation you as my lender and I as your borrower have to have when, hey, this house didn't appraise, which hell, no house right now seems like it's appraising. That's what I hear is that the appraisals aren't worth what they're written on because the market, the appraisal market, and the banking's idea of what appraises aren't really in line, which that's a good problem to have. So that's where I think it could be really interesting. The NFT process, any way you look at it, it's 100% more transparent. There's less friction. It's better for the homeowner, home seller. It's not necessarily better for the mortgage companies, but they will evolve to get into a position where they can capitalize on it as well. They're very smart. They won't be left out. Yeah.
So the process will just be almost in reverse, right? Because all the transparency, you get the appraisal done ahead of time, you get the inspection done ahead of time, you get photo and picture. So by the time you actually list it, people already have all that stuff ready, which is nice. And we also know the new local now is global. Someone on here to ask, does this also work in Canada? Can you answer that?
It does. NFTs and blockchain are global, and that really is exciting. If you look at some of the things that happen with the issue in Ukraine and Russia and trying to sanction Russian money through exchanges, and the same thing with the Canadian truckers, crypto in this space is bigger than any one government. It's bigger than the SEC. It's bigger than anything. It's bigger than the Fed. It's really interesting. It's really exciting. It's really scary. You know, it's the first real global thing that all of us in the world are really going to approach together. Maybe you can make a case for the internet, but really the internet's not really non-custodial. It is custodial aspects of the internet. This is the first, and you know, look at China, Russia, they don't have free. You know, the blockchain is the first real global thing. Cryptocurrency is the first time that I can ever pay somebody in Africa $100 US and they get $100 US. There is no middleman and they're taking a piece of the pie. You know, if you look at the amount of money we spend on wire transfers, ACH fees, credit card fees, you know, we're living in a world where those could get reduced almost to zero. It's really interesting. For me, I have to really kind of slow my brain to really think about how big it can be, because I go down the rabbit hole of just real estate, what's best for the homeowner, what's best for the realtor, what's best for the broker loan. I don't forget about you. But for the most part, I think about what's best for the homeowner, and the realtor will usually win. And there's a lot of meat in the bone to Web3 and real estate.
Good. All right, so let's wrap this up with, I don't care what level of education you are on this field. Propy does offer a crypto certified agent course that you can take and be crypto certified with a nice little symbol to use and logo to start market yourself. Will you share with everybody how they can do that?
Yeah, so thank you. I often get criticized. I'm the worst sales guy. I often forget to talk about the crypto certification course. So we're coming up on nearly 1,000 agents coast to coast that we've certified to be crypto certified. Once you become crypto certified, not only do you learn the intricacies of how to use crypto and blockchain and tokenization of homes to grow your business, but also you get to use it in your marketing. So you get to use the logo in all your marketing. We have a bi-weekly call that you can hop on with other like-minded agents to talk about how they're using it. You get to hop on our Discord and our Twitter and our Telegram to talk about how to use it. But for me, it's, you know, half of the battle is knowing how to use crypto to grow your business. That's good. But it's also using crypto, blockchain, and Web3 technology to attract new buyers and sellers. And that's where it's a really, really big win. Also, once you become crypto certified, you can now be eligible to any homeowners that want to NFT their house in your area. We attract you there. You also, any sellers or buyers that are traditional but want to use a Propy agent, we only select crypto certified agents. Plus, it's really cool to have in your marketing and your business card and your logo. Realtors love designations for them. You know this better than I do. And to be crypto certified, the thing about crypto that's funny is, if you put it out there that you speak the language, that you're like-minded, those homeowners will find you. And if you don't put it out there, we don't often talk about it. But if you put it out there, they will find you if they're like-minded. That's the biggest misconception, Loans. People think crypto buyers are these young people living in their parents' basement. It's actually a dumb thing to think. There's two types of people who are really into blockchain and crypto. One is the intellectually curious, and the second is the wealthy. And trust me, the wealthy people have figured this out, blockchain aspect especially, the crypto aspect accordingly. So if you want to attract intellectually curious buyers and sellers or wealthy buyers, it's a good avenue to use from a marketing perspective. And it's also nice to be able to talk intelligently or be able to hold on a conversation on why you choose to put your listings onto the chain, why you put all your closing docs onto blockchain, why you can close in crypto or traditional. You know, if someone needs a DeFi lender or non-custodial banker, you can reach out to us. We help you through that. We back you 100%. If you find a crypto buyer that's speaking at a deeper level than you are, I hop on Zoom with you and your buyer. I do it almost every day. If your title company, Betty Sue, your local title agency doesn't do crypto, we'll help you out. We'll help Betty Sue close the deal with the right docs, the right structure of the deal. We handle that every day for agents all across the country. So we support our agents 100%. I have agents texting me every day, buyers and sellers questions. So if you need a little bit of help on crypto certification, propy.com. If you use Adam20, all caps, it'll give you a 20% discount, Adam20. And then that way they'll also know that I talked about it, which is good because sometimes I forget. Thanks, Long.
Hey, you bet. So I type in there so everybody know. We'll share this on the link to propy.com. If you don't have an account, which most of you won't get, create an account like I have. And then under the profile side there's courses. Adam just gave 20% off, to get crypto certified. So, hey, thank you for everybody here for being on. We'll share this out. Adam, thank you. And I'm sure that if you're not already a member of LabCoatAgents, make sure you get on there and I'll approve you, but then you may be interacting with questions people have when it comes on to rewatching this and then maybe having other questions, okay?
Yeah, and if anybody wants to, I'm on LinkedIn, Adam Brown, Propy. I'd love to have you follow. I'm trying to build that network up. And if you have any questions that you don't want to put onto a third party, just email me, adam@propy.com. I'll answer any questions. If you have a lot of questions, we'll hop on a Zoom together. I'll walk you through it. No matter what state you're in, we'll help you use Web3 to grow your business any way we can.
All right. Thanks, Bud, for being on. Good to see you again.
Hey, it's good seeing you, man.
Soon, okay?
Tell Panora I said hi.
I will. Bye-bye.